welcome back to Let's Play Sid Meier's Centauri, shall we? With me, the new guy for... I'm not very good at these introductions, am I? Good God. Last time I played, peace were declared. For the first time in centuries, I'm not at war with anyone, and it feels really weird. So we'll see how it goes video-wise, but I might have to declare war on somebody for entertainment purposes. What I did notice is that having forced ourselves into a pact brothership with Chairman Yang, we get quite a lot of money from trade with them. They get 4, but I get 13. It's all to do with all the economic text that I've got. If you look at the thing there, 81% of the way through economy-wise. They're really behind in explore text. That one that we last got about deep pressure hulls so they can build submarines. Should have been able to get that built submarines about 50 years ago at least. And carriers, they're pretty useful. I suppose I want to sort of play the game while I'm talking, because I realise I've not got that much to say and there's not that much to do. You can go over there and prepare for a horde of terraformers. You go terraform. Despite the fact we're at peace, I'm not letting that get away from military build-up. I've met these believers before. Far too many times before. Oh, shut up. I don't know, I talk as much to the computer when I'm not recording as well as when I am. Not sort of properly talking like I'm doing a walkthrough, because that'd just be crazy. But more a case of that terraform man that tells you can't terraform here. I still tell him to shut up. I might go over there and call it New Sargasso. Yes, I'm now building bases based on how easy it is to name them. That might not be a bad place. Remember the Guines are over there. What should I call it? PSI sector. Mindworms are us. It's not copyrighted. The R's the right way around. Actually, will I get into trouble with some corporate entity for that? Thanks to the support bonus I got from the other refinery, there's just enough to start there to make it cheaper for me to rush a Photon Sentinel. Not that they care, they're still unhappy. Have you noticed we're actually getting some music from this game? That won't last. Now what I'm actually doing here, nobody knows. I mean, why are any of us here? Don't get to existentialism until later on in the year. How's this going to get really irritating, moving from one side of the continent to the other, because every time it's just going to be having that warning. Now I can restart the war again. No, well, actually I can't, because that's still their land. But he's got units in my territory. I'll probably ask him to leave, and they'll say no, declare war on me. Because the computer is really quite belligerent. Yes. Oh, never mind. Missile rover. Bit old hat, isn't it? Is that how we refer to technologies of the future? Well, the near future and not the distant future is a bit old hat. What if they built mag tubes? And what I want you to do is build a couple of those. They don't need to be choppers. It's just as efficient. So may as well. May as well. Because the choppers with a colony pod on them. How cool! The choppers, they're called. I don't know. Maybe that's to distinguish them from the helicopters of Earth, because a different atmosphere would require a different something. Or technology to deal with the changes in atmosphere. I imagine. I'm not an aeronautical engineer, so. Ooh. Mine worms attack the gold saucer. I believe it's actually called the gold saucer, not the golden saucer. Then again, that might just be a mistranslation from the Japanese. I imagine, as far as I can tell, there's still a raging debate as to whether one of the characters is called Eris or Erith. Largely to do with the fact that the Japanese language doesn't make a distinction between S and F and S and Th. I believe there's problems with the romanization. Oof, I should have done that a long time ago. So all those are now bringing in 6. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. It's increased it by 7 to 723. It was 666. Which increased it by... Ooh. What was Centauri's maths challenge? 77? I suppose. That's a bit expensive. No accounting for taste.
Request confirmation. Production complete.
I'll need to sort that out before they revolt. Quick, make a note of that somewhere. Yes, you just did hear a clatter of the plate. University base. Revolt. Because although I'm building a recreations common there, that's going to grow next turn.
Production complete.
Build a conventional missile. I want a prototype.
Golden age begun. Request
There
confirmation.
we go. And Morgan Studios builds the universal translator. And get 2 free tech advances, blah blah blah. And you get a nice biblical quote. And the Lord said, "Behold, the people is one, they have all one language." And they begin to do. Now nothing will be restrained to them, which they have imagined to do. Go down, let us go down. Go to, let us go down. And they confound their language, so they may not understand one another's speech. Because, who wants humanity to get on with one another? Also, that really leads to an interesting point, is learning another language sacrilege? Is it blasphemous to be learning another language because you're going against the confounding of the language? Biblically appointed confounding of language. It's such a dilemma and entirely, pointless.
Optical computers,
And here we go.
genetic catalogs, nano repair modules, forget all of that. It's when you see a megaton of steel suspended over your head by a thread the thickness of a human hair that you really find God in technology. Anonymous metagenic stock worker, Morganlink 3D Vision live interview.
Wow, that's the stuff of the future. That is. And what can we build? Habitation dome. They come surprisingly late in this game. In other civ games, it's the equivalent of a sewer system or a second aqueduct kind of thing that allows you to grow your bases up to an infinite size, beyond size 14. And well, I say it's really late because we're getting close to the end of the game now. Doubles mineral production at rates and oil bases when producing orbital improvements. Sounds pretty nifty. So I get to build loads and loads of satellites for all the good it does. And what's it preparing? Pulse 8 armour.
Abort, retry, failed was the phrase some worm dog scrolled next to the door of the Edit Universe project room. And when the new data spinners started working, fabricating their worlds on the huge organic comp systems, we'd remind them, if you see this message, always choose retry. Fatal Ron, Wakener, Morgan Polysaw.
Interesting. But in all essence, wouldn't abort and fail be one and the same thing? Unless abort would be one that's user interacted and fail was more of a result. But I'd say that those two are opposite to retry, as opposed to three separate options. But then again, it's a quotation in the game, so why am I thinking about it? Got better things to do. I really have. It's Saturday night while I'm doing this. In student land. I don't know what's going on out there, but it's pretty exciting probably. Did go out one other. Oh yeah, this is another factory. So you get like cumulative 50%. There's another 50% with the robotics assembly plant, and another 50% with the gene jack factory. It's huge, and there's more percentages in this game than any other Civ game. I'm sure of it, short of Civ 4 and National Wonders. And the new. Oh, we didn't use the other technology, the Pulse 8 armor, for much, did we? For long. So I was just saying, oh yeah, going around on Saturday night a few weeks back, and just saw this house party going. Ooh, house party going on for there must have been about at least 100 people. No, I'm not exaggerating. 100 people in some guy's backyard, and it's like, is that what people do for fun, for sort of partying these days? Absolutely massive. The garden was actually absolutely chock-a-block with people. Clinical immortality. One extra talent in each base. There's the opportunity to be immortal, and there's just one extra talent. I believe we're already building a self-aware colony, so let me build a space army.
Project initiated. Production complete. Drone rides have ended.
Hey. New network node.
Maximum population reached.
You're fine for the next couple of turns.
Drone rides have ended. Request confirmation.
This is where all my money goes on.
Remember, genes are not blueprints.
Wow, what a turn!
This means you can't, for example, insert the genes for an elephant's trunk into a giraffe and get a giraffe with a trunk. There are no genes for trunks. What you can do with genes is chemistry, since DNA codes for chemicals. For instance, we can, in theory, splice the native plant's talent for nitrogen fixation into a Terran plant. Academician Prokhor Zakharov. Nonlinear genetics.
Thank you, Prokhor Zakharov. So that's what, if you're thinking about what you're doing, what to do with genetic engineering, you know, there's a bit of a guideline for you. Here's the locus of Kaigoron I was talking to you about. Nasty things. Don't look that much because of the graphics of this game, but horrible things. Ugh. I wouldn't keep them as pets if I were you. And there's the brood pit, which I was talking about earlier, +2 police rating in that base. So I'll put one in Morgan Aerodynamics, and all unhappiness will be wiped out. And the Folus Mutagen. Great, I suppose. It makes planet happier with you. Don't particularly care. And you get to discover Centauri PSI, which will allow you to remove fungus through doing other things. So you plant a forest that removes fungus in the process rather than having it as a separate action, which saves turns and turns and turns, and I wish I'd discovered it earlier. I don't get anything from fungus squares anyway, so it means little to me. Anyway, before I discover anything else, I'm going to call this video to a halt, so I'll see you again next time.